Hello, today we will learn atmospheric refraction. We have observed some natural phenomenon in our day-to-day life, such as the apparent random wavering or flickering of object seen through a turbulent stream of hot air rising above a fire or a radiator. The twinkling of star is a similar phenomenon. This wavering is thus an effect of atmospheric refraction of light by the Earth's atmosphere in our local environment. Now let us discuss about it. Twinkling of stars. The twinkling of star is due to atmospheric refraction of starlight. The scientific name of twinkling of star is stellar scintillation. Stars twinkle when we see them from the Earth's surface because we are viewing them through thick layer of turbulent, that is moving air in the Earth's atmosphere. Stars, except for the sun, appear as a tiny dot in the sky as their light travels through the many layers of Earth's atmosphere. The light of the star is bent, refracted many times and in random directions. Light is bent when it hits a change in density, like a pocket of cold air or a hot air. This random refraction results in the star winking out. It looks as though the star moves a bit, and our eyes interprets this as twinkling. Stars closer to the horizon appear to twinkle more than stars that are overhead. This is because the light of stars near the horizon has to travel through more air than the light of stars overhead, and so is subject to more refraction. Also, planets do not usually twinkle because they are so close to us. They appear big enough that the twinkling is not noticeable except when the air is extremely turbulent. Stars would not appear to twinkle if we viewed them from outer space or from a planet or moon that didn't have atmosphere. Apparent position of sun. Because of the atmospheric refraction, we do not see the sun or the stars in its true position except when it is directly overhead. As a ray of light from the sun enters Earth's atmosphere at B, it continuously bends towards the radius of the Earth. The ray of light will reach the observer at O as if it had come in the direction AO instead of its true direction BO. Consequently, we do not see the true position of the sun. It is due to atmospheric refraction that the sun is visible before actual sunrise and after sunset. Do you know this fact? The sun appears to rise 2 minutes before the actual rise, and it continues to be seen 2 minutes after it has actually set. Therefore, the day becomes longer by 4 minutes due to atmospheric refraction. Dispersion of light. In this module, you will learn about the dispersion of light. Sometimes after the rain, we see rainbow in the sky. It looks spectacular, doesn't it? Do you know how rainbow is formed? The rainbow is formed due to the phenomenon of dispersion of light. To understand what dispersion of light is, let us perform an activity. For an activity, you need a prism, a white sheet, and a cardboard with a small hole at its center. Place the cardboard at position such that sunlight falls directly on it. Next, keep the prism such that the light passing through the hole of cardboard falls on the surface of prism. At the other end of prism, fix white sheet as shown. As the sunlight passes through the prism, you will observe a beautiful band of colors appearing on white sheet. If you look at these colors of the band from the bottom, they are in order: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. The sequence of color can be remembered by the acronym VIBGYOR. The light coming from the sunlight was white light. Are you wondering from where these beautiful band of colors appeared? Actually, the white light consists of 7 colors, namely violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red, which we saw as the band of color. When the white light coming from sunlight falls on the prism, it splits this incident white light into its constituent colors. This splitting occurs when the different colors of sunlight bend through the different angles with respect to the incident ray when they pass through the prism. The red light bends the least, while the violet bends most. Thus, the rays of each colors emerge along different paths and become distinctly visible. So we are able to see beautiful band of colors. This phenomenon of splitting of light into its constituent colors through a prism is known as dispersion of light. The band of constituent colors is known as spectrum. This phenomenon was first discovered by Sir Isaac Newton. Now, as we have understand what dispersion of light is, let us understand how it causes the formation of rainbow. A rainbow is generally formed when the sun appears just it has rain. At this time, many droplets are present in the air. When the sunlight passes through the water droplet in the atmosphere, each water droplet acts as a small prism and refracts the incident sunlight. As soon as the sunlight enters into the prism, that is the drop, it splits into its constituent 7 colors VIBGYOR within the drop. When this band strikes the other edge of the drop, it gets reflected internally towards the first edge of the drop. As the band reaches the first edge, it gets refracted again and finally come out of the raindrop. This band of color which finally come out of the raindrop is what we see as rainbow. The rainbow is always formed in a direction opposite to that of the sun. Thus, the appearance of rainbow in the sky is due to the dispersion of light by the water droplets present in the atmosphere. Dispersion of light not only result in the formation of the rainbow, but we can see these effects in our day-to-day life as well. For example, beautiful band of colors we observe in water fountain, soap bubbles and CDs are all due to the dispersion of light. Let us recap. The white light consists of 7 colors, namely violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red, VIBGYOR. The phenomenon of splitting of white light into constituent colors through a prism is known as dispersion of light, and the band of constituent colors is known as spectrum. Formation of a rainbow and a beautiful band of colors observed in water fountain, soap bubbles, CDs, etc. are all due to the dispersion of light.
So here we will study partial and total internal reflection. So when the light ray passes from denser medium to the rare medium, so there is a light source in the denser medium. When a ray of light gets incident, partially it is getting reflected in the same denser medium. That means the part of the light come back to the denser medium according to the law of reflection. What is the law of reflection? Law of reflection says that the incident ray, reflected ray and normal lie in the same plane, that is the water medium, and angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, and this part of the ray which get back into the same medium reflected, it is called as a partial reflection, and the remaining part of the light get refracted into the rarer medium, that is air medium here. And you know, when it will get refracted, the ray will go away from the normal. That means angle of incidence is smaller than angle of reflection, means angle of reflection will be more than the angle of incidence. Now, if we increase the angle of incidence, definitely angle of refraction will also increase according to the Snell's law. That is the law of refraction. And according to that, here angle of incidence will be again, that is I1 will be smaller than angle of R1. Now again we will increase the angle of incidence, and at a particular point and at a particular value of angle of incidence, you will see that the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. It will pass along with the surface of the denser medium, and at that point the value of angle of incidence is called as a critical angle. So here you can say IC is equal to critical angle, and at the critical angle R is equal to 90 degree. Now after this, if we increase the angle of incidence, what will happen? Angle of reflection will be more than 90 degree, and when it will be more than 90 degree, what will happen? The angle of refraction will be more, and the ray of refracted ray will pass into the same medium, means into the denser medium, and that part of the refraction is called as a total internal reflection. Means there will be no refraction, there will be reflection, because the ray of light is not changing the medium. So here this IC, I2 will be greater than IC. So when you will get the total internal reflection, when the angle of incidence is more than the critical angle. At that position you will get a total internal reflection. So this is partial reflection and total internal reflection. Partial reflection, it is a reflection because the ray of light is not changing the medium, it is going back into the denser medium, and here also at a particular value of the angle of incidence, where the angle of reflection is more than 90 degree, at that time you will see that it will not refract, it will reflect into the same medium. At that condition we say it is a total internal reflection. Means at a 90 degree also you can check out, it is passing on the surface of water. So at this position only you will get the total internal reflection, because the medium is not changed at this position. So critical angle creates a total internal reflection. Now there is an equation. So you know that refractive index of first medium with respect to the first will be equal to sin I upon sin R. Means refractive index is nothing but it is the sin I upon sin R. So what is, you know that according to the Snell's law. What was the Snell's law? When the mediums are not changed for a particular given pair of the medium, value of or ratio of sin I to the sin R always remains constant. And what was that constant? Refractive index. So refractive index is equal to sin I upon sin R. And at this position for total internal reflection, value of I should be equal to what? Critical angle. That is equal to IC. And refraction of angle will be equal to 90 degree. Means angle of reflection will be 90 degree. So here sin I and sin 90. Value of I will be IC. And here it will be 90. So sin 90, value of sin 90 you know, it is 1. So it will be equal to sin IC. Means angle of critical will be that value. So this is the equation that you have to remember when there is a total internal reflection. At the total internal reflection, value of refractive index is equal to sin I. That is the sign of critical angle.